Right, as was happening. So I actually managed to beat the final boss of Nightreign without leveling up my character at all. And I recorded the run, so I thought I might as well take you through it and commentate over it and sort of go through my strategies and what I was doing. It's not going to be the whole run in its entirety. I will be cutting out a lot of the bits where I'm just sort of running around. If you want the whole thing, then just let me know and I'll upload it separately maybe, but I will show every single fight in its entirety, including the final one obviously, so yeah, hope you enjoy. Right, so I actually forgot to record the first few minutes of day one, but luckily you didn't really miss anything, nothing really happened. You'll notice me checking in there just to see what boss is in there, and then I see it's the Zamor guy and I promptly leave. That guy's usually not worth it, especially because if you'll see in the map, I actually got very lucky and got the Super Merchant spawn. I think he's called the Super Merchant, Big Boy Merchant, Ultra Mega Hyper Merchant, I don't know. I don't know what the technical term for him is, but that essentially means I have all the talismans I could ever need. I'm still going to check this guy though, because if I can get something like a dagger talisman or any Millicent's talismans, that is still very, very good, or like wing sword insignia. Unfortunately I got that, which is like dog shit, but yeah, it's no big deal. Usually you'll want to have about 5 or so flasks, 5 or 6 around that for going into the Night Lord. You don't really need that many strictly for the Night Lord himself, because everything kind of one-shots you. It's more so for the nighttime bosses, because if you die to a nighttime boss and waste a revive, that puts you in very, very bad state for the rest of the run. I just check here to see what boss is there, because the boss usually always spawns there, but it's the Knight's Cavalry, which is very much not worth it, because he isn't formidable and he's just kind of a pain in the ass, so it's really not worth it, and I decided that getting the stones is more important. Unfortunately though, and I don't know why, but this guy kicked my fucking ass. Like, you'll see in this footage, I'm going to show the entire fight, but holy fuck, he absolutely embarrassed me. And I really don't know why, he was just on a whole nother level today. And of course he has to fucking batter me around the garden path on the winning attempt, like. My fucking son level 1 runs. This is the one that I have to show the world. I promise I'm not usually this bad to find this guy. And you'll see that his mate's gonna come from all the way downtown. Yeah, there he is. Motherfucker, yeah, he actually almost killed me there. He would have if it wasn't for Wilder's death protection shit. And he somehow blocked that attack. I don't know how he did that, and he's just making a fool out of me, but luckily the grapple got him and we can finally get our stone. Next I decided to go here to this guy because it could almost guarantee me a free stone sword key, and also because my ult can pretty much one-shot this guy, so there's basically a free boss node. Fortunately he gave me utter dog shit, but oh well, it is what it is. And luckily we got our key as well. We got 2 of them actually, which is pretty good luck, although they wouldn't really come that much in handy to be honest. The storm was closing in and I had nothing really else to do, so I just decided to farm these guys for some runes. I was going to be going to the Super Merchant in day 2, so I just said, so I obviously needed a lot of money. If he was selling a lot of weapons with very good modifiers, I was going to need to spend a shit ton of money, so I really needed all the runes I could get. It's the Perfumers, which means it's going to be the Bellburn Hunter, and I know that the whole meme is like, he is very, very hard, but trust me when I say that's a good outcome. And also you'll see that my skull actually stopped him from being grappled towards me, which made me get hit. And it was of like no consequence whatsoever in the long term, but it's pretty funny, so I thought I would just point it out anyway. There's certain bosses in this game that if you see on either day, it's almost a complete hard reset on the spot. Like if I got Smelter Demon here, which I'm not even too sure where he can actually spawn in the map, but if I had got him, I probably would have just quit out, because bosses like him on level 1 are effectively impossible, and others that aren't impossible are just very difficult. So even though this guy is a difficult boss, he is very manageable as long as I know how to dodge his moves, which luckily I do. Wilder's nuke plus the Dark Adele relic when you get a crit is just so fucking stupid. It does so much damage and it's so easy to pull off. It literally carried me through this run. Like if I didn't have that, I don't know what the fuck I would have done. You'll see here he's just spamming the shield move over and over again. I don't know why he does this, but It is one of the main reasons why you want to be right up in his face all the time. Like, literally all the time. One, because he just repeats that move, and two, because he doesn't really do any of the magic sword bullshit whenever you're very close range. So that would be my number one advice for fighting this guy. Just get in his ass all the time. And also, you'll notice that I'm sort of buffering my attacks whenever he lands down the shield, and that's because sometimes he will follow it up with like a red explosion, so you want to make sure that he's not going to do that before you punish him. Otherwise, you will get punished for it. I actually made a mistake and managed to get grabbed here. And I start to panic and run away and heal, and this is textbook example number 1 of why I do not run away. But luckily, he does a gap closer, so I don't really have to deal with this red sword shit. And I get greedy and luckily duck that attack. And he's dead. Definitely could have been way better executed, but we got him. And we also got 3 complete dog shits. But it's okay. You never usually get anything very good out of the day 1 boss, like ever. Next up is the super merchant, and I have enough money to buy whatever he wants to sell me, so we're just gonna head straight there. Also just want to clarify, the whole no holy thing is completely self-imposed. It is not an official level 1 rule. The reason why it is a thing is because on stream, go follow me by the way, I actually managed to get him down to a slither of health and failed. Now, it was a very close failure, but a failure nonetheless. And in that build, I didn't use any holy, and I was very, very stubborn. So I didn't want to start using holy, so that's pretty much it. Not an officially recognized rule, just pure stubbornness on my end. Here I'm looking to see what modifiers are on all the weapons he's selling me, because what I'm doing is I'm looking for improved attack power at full HP and improved damage negation at full HP, or else improved attack power when two-handed. Those are the 3 big ones, and those are the ones you want to look for during your run. The number 1 thing I would say for soul level 1 is go to camps, go to whatever you can to get weapons, and make sure they have that modifier. Obviously it's completely up, you're at the mercy of RNG, but just do that and hope that you get good RNG. I'm also picking up the Ritual Sword Talisman and the Dragon Push Shield Talisman for obvious reasons. More attack power, full HP is obviously going to be good, and more, damage negation in general is obviously going to be good, so. Having the Super Merchant spawn is also like god tier because it means you get an extra revive, which, believe me, you will fucking need it. I would always suggest just doing a hard reset if you are playing this and you don't get him, because it means that you're going to have way less weapons to choose from, and also you're going to have 1 less life to do this shit on, so obviously that is very important. And I'm just gonna fight this guy because I planned it in the Everjail and I cannot do it when this asshole's around, so. And he'll give me money and he'll hopefully give me something good anyway, so it's gonna be worth it. Another good tip which you'll see me do is doing heavy attacks on the head of whatever you've just staggered. Obviously every single thing will stay on the ground for a different amount of time, so you just gotta learn it, but once you do, make sure you're optimizing the amount of damage you're doing, because typically the weak spot will be in the head, and that's also where the boss will tend to take more damage, so getting in a cheeky R2 before you get the riposte increases your damage exponentially. Some you can only get 1, some you can get several, it really depends, but it's quite a basic tip, but it's one that's very much worth knowing. It could definitely make or break runs. I was actually grabbed by this guy right after I got hit by him. I don't know what is happening here. Luckily the tree blocked the way. don't know what it is with this run, but there's so many things that just typically would not be an issue that are causing me problems. My build is pretty crit orientated, so having something that gives me improved crit damage, especially by a number as high as 18%, is very, very, very good. I decided to go all out on optimizing crits here by buying this build. I think it was worth it. I quickly clear out this place because these guys are dickheads and I can pretty much one-shot their boss, so I mean, you know, free items and stuff. With my crit build, improved stance breaking is a very good thing to find, although I can't really pick it up at the minute because unfortunately I'm getting comboed to death by this dog. Like, look at this. This is a fucking Sekiro combo. Like, what the fuck? I actually suffered one of the, I think the only death pre-Heolstor to this fucking dog. Like, come on. These guys can also be dispatched pretty easily, so I do just that. The maximum HP isn't too bad, but because it's percentage based and I already have fuck all health, it's going to raise it by the most piss amount ever that's not really going to make any meaningful difference whatsoever. I actually forgot to get my money from earlier, so I'm back to get it. Luckily it's just on this guy. Want to go clear these chariots because they are easy as fuck. Didn't really get anything too good, but whatever. It's at this one I make a pretty crucial decision, which is to either keep my damage or forfeit the damage for some glint blades as a passive, and I ultimately decided to go with the glint blades, which, little beknownst to me at the time, this was a very fucking good idea. A very good idea. I want to go check out this wizard tower, but unfortunately there was fuck all. There can sometimes be very good stuff in here, like stamina boost, stamina regen boost and shit like that. Or even just, you know, wands with very good modifiers on them. But unfortunately I found none of it. Now at this one I am very, very scared, because this right here, this very spot, this is where a very formidable opponent known as Dancer of the Boreal Valley can spawn. Thankfully she does not, because she ended my run a couple of days ago on stream. Anyone who's there will know how I felt about that. I don't really have much of a general strategy for this guy. I guess you just try and stay on his back legs as much as you can. I somehow missed the riposte here. His eyes were still glowing, which implies that I could have still got it, but I guess I was just too late. And just like that, he is done. He gives me more physical attack, which is obviously very good, and that's actually very good luck. But now, it is time for the big boy. That was honestly quite a risky first play, just luckily he managed to do an attack that I can actually duck under. One thing that you'll very much notice in this phase is that I am super duper passive, and this isn't some sort of strategy, this is nerves. I was way too scared to attack this guy because any hit very much counts and any death is detrimental, you know, it sort of goes without saying. Doing this with a fire weapon instead of a holy one just made me realise how helpful holy is for this fight. And you'll see the glint blades are doing pretty popping damage. And considering that that's for free, I don't need the, you know, that just happens. That is very fucking good. Definitely get you some glint blades if you can. That scream does damage, but I never realised that the radius of it is so small. As long as you're more than 2 centimeters, as long as you're not fucking face kissing him, then you should be fine. And even though it does literally basically no damage, it's enough to deactivate my at full HP buff, so it's still very, very bad to get hit by. You'll see I'm backing away, which I usually never do. But, you know, like I said, I was just very scared. Rolled too early and got hit by that one. And I start shitting bricks. But I'm already committed, so I decided to just keep on going until we get to phase 2. And actually I decided to use my ult. I was planning on saving it for phase 2, but I got scared and used it. I tried to heal the full there by using the warming stone, so I wouldn't have to waste a flash, but unfortunately it didn't quite get me there, so I had to use another one. And sadly I rolled that early and immediately used my shield. But I mean, it was there to absorb hits so I didn't die, and that's what it did. That actually hit me there and would have one-shot me, but luckily Wilder's passive is busted as fuck. Got too greedy and got punished. You always want to roll back into that one because it means you can get a free punish. If you roll forward, you'll be too far away to punish. And one thing worth knowing is that you can generally get an attack or two in between the two sword slams he does though. It's just good for maintaining posture damage. For this attack, I like to dodge in a square motion, but you'll see throughout this fight it did not work. This strat has literally never failed me before, but today it just was not working. The crit gave me the confidence to use my grapple, which I've not really been doing much in this fight, and for good reason. It's just very risky. I got the confidence to do so here, and I get punched for it immediately. And that is why you don't do it. Or generally only do it when you know you're safe. I panicked and used my ult, but to be fair, it wasn't a bad time. This attack is very difficult to dodge. With the pressure of soul level 1 on your mind, it's a very difficult one to dodge, and it will one-shot me. That attack actually, it cost me my last soul level 1 run, so it was quite scary. Again, I messed up the score very badly. The score looks like a shit strategy, but I promise you it gave me 100% guaranteed good results prior to this. I think I was just messing it up because of nerves. And I tried to go for the charged R2, or the jumping R2, and hey, have a me bomba moment, but luckily I just barely didn't get punished. Very unluckily, a vent spawns right beneath me. You look on the map and you'll see very few of them. One spawned right in my ass, which is it's just unfortunate. Especially because it is a one-hit kill. You'll see him dodging to the right, that usually, well, not there, but it usually leads to good results. There's a much more complex methodology, but I'm not a good explainer, so the simplified version is dodging to the right generally is more favourable. You also want to stick close to them. It's a good way to avoid the vents. Or the rocky explodey shit, I don't really know what to call it. This one again, sticking close to them is paramount. This shit is very, very hard to dodge, otherwise. If you're far away, dodge after every second hit. Very, very luckily I managed to dodge all that shit. And I feel like I just barely dodged that one in time. And sadly I mess up that attack again. It always gets me. And with that, I am now in my last life. The pressure is really on, and he immediately does it again, which I very much did not appreciate. Luckily we get the stagger and we get the ult. And we get the stagger. And with that, he's down. This run was surprisingly not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. It took me around 5 attempts, but god damn it, those 5 attempts were fairly challenging. It was mostly due to shit RNG that I was getting tripped up a lot of time, and that sounds like a cope, and it probably is, but yeah. That's about it. If you have any queries, leave them in the comments. If you want any tips or if you want stuff explained in more detail, then feel free to let me know in the comments. With that being said, I very much hope you enjoy. I'll see you around. Cheers.